वाईफाई नहीं ऑन कर होना भी बात हेलो बलबीर माधोपुरी दिस साइड
Yes. How are you?
फाइन फाइन डियर कैसे साहब
Yes, yes.
ओह नाइस टू सी यू
Good to see you.
यस
Is anyone going to start the session?
Welcome to all of you. This is 19th session of poetry recitation session. Professor Kaisar Haq Saab from Bangladesh, who is presiding over this session, and the invited poets are Arjun Dhungana from Nepal, Dheeraj Rai from Nepal, Jharna Rahman from Bangladesh, Molly Joseph from India, Nimesh Nikhil from Nepal, Lutfa Hanum Salima Begum from India, KG Subba from Nepal, Mithilesh Kumar Srivastava ji from India, and Balbir Madhopuri ji from India. Now this session begins. I request to Arjun Dhungana ji to kindly recite his poems, please.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you please.
Okay. Namaste, everyone. I am very happy to be a part of this program. The title of my poem is Shadow. It is translated from Nepali by Nepali poet Suman Pokhel. Shadow. Shadow sings its melodious silence of solitude. It seems not distinct than a pupil of an eye. Never it gets angry and scolding. It never leaves one unattended. Shadow hopes together with body without biasness, whether it be in joy or in sorrow. It resides always around the feet, but never tries to incline up head like a cruel ruler. It never floats on air, forgetting its crown. It never floats on air, forgetting its ground. Rather, everyone who fly in the air, protecting their destinations. Shadow accompany during the whole life, helping one realize his being entrapped in itself after death. Shadow is eternal is darkness. Shadow is eternal is darkness. Thank you. Can I recite this poem in Nepali also, sir?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. कविता छाया एकान्तको मौनता जत्तिकै प्रिय सुनिन्छ ऊ आँखाको नानी भन्दा भिन्न देखिँदैन उसको रङ जासुस ठानेर गाली गरे पनि कहिल्यै रिसाउँदैन जस्तै अप्ठ्यारोहरूमा पनि छोड्दैन साथ खुसी भएर जसरी बुरुक्क उफ्रिन्छ शरीर ठ्याक्कै त्यसरी नै उफ्रिन्छ ऊ छाया सधैँ पैतालातिरै बस्छ निर्दयी शासकहरू जसरी टेकेर कसैलाई कहिल्यै कोसिस गर्दैन शिरमा उक्लने धराताल बिर्सिएर कहिल्यै तैरदैन हावामा बरु हावामा तैरिरहेकाहरू डरलान् कि भनेर भुइँबाटै पछ्याइरहन्छौ आफूसँग कोही पनि नतर्सिउन् भनेर देखै पर्दैन अँध्यारोमा जब बढ्छ उज्यालो पदचाप जस्तै बनेर जहाँ जहाँ जान्छ जीवन त्यहीँ त्यहीँ पोखिँदै रोपिँदै हिँड्छ छाया बाँचुन्जेल जिउनुको आभास दिलाइरहन्छ मरेपछि हरेकलाई विलिन गराएर आफूभित्रै सारा ब्रह्माण्डको सैर गराउँछौ अँध्यारो जसरी अनन्त छ त्यसरी नै अनन्त छ छाया तर घमण्ड गर्दैनौ कहिल्यै आफ्नो विशालताको धन्यवाद सर
Thank you Arjun ji. Now I request to Dheeraj ji to kindly recite his poem.
Sir, respected chair, respected dear Ajitma and all the participants. Now I'm going to recite my poem entitled Love Mark. Am I audible?
Yes, you please.
Okay.
Continue.
Love
Please.
Mark. Every time when I take a sip of tea from the cup you gifted before leaving, I feel the taste of your lips. entering into my heart. The sensation carries the entire day of mine. Beloved, how can I deny the bold kisses of reminiscence? Sometimes the footmarks left on the surface of some moments remain more precious than the path walked through. Thank you.
Now I request to Jharna Rahman ji to kindly recite her poem. Jharna ji, kindly unmute yourself. Ji, please.
Thank you very much. Most respected Ajit Kaurji, the Honorable President of FOSWAL, respected Kaisar Haq, a famous translator, critic, and academic of Bangladesh, chairing this session, eminent poets from Nepal and India, and other viewers and listeners who are present now virtually. Very good afternoon to all. I'm very glad and grateful and feel honored to be here, got an opportunity to present my poem in this prestigious program, South Asian Online Literary Conference. Thanks to Ajit ji, gratefully for this. Thanks to Sahitya Academy. Today I will read only one poem. This poem's title is Black Lung Hive and White Beer, translated by poet Muhammad Nurul Huda. Black lung hive and white beer. Mom was perplexed beyond limit as I cried out loudly moments after my birth. Why my child cries so loud, lest he should die of strangulating? Asked my mom. My nurse mother heard it and replied, never mind, this child has a bauchak. I mean lung hive. Bauchak? What is that and where? She took me to her lab and tried to find out the bauchak. Where is it? Is it an abscess? Does it pain my child? Mom inquired. My nurse mother smiled and said, that's your son's lung with numerous holes like a beehive. All holes are filled with air. Your child will gather enough strength to shout with his air-filled lung. Moreover, he will be able to laugh and cry as much as he wants. He will never suffer from dearth of air. Mom smiled happily. She kissed me over and over again and said, I have injected enough honey in the bauchak, I mean the lung hive of my dear child, and this honey will never end. I also looked at the sweet, dense juice oozing out from her lips, resembling ripe blackberries. Then my lung hive swelled at the honey of those blackberries. Mom lovingly hugged me. Oh, my black gold, my black rose. Thereafter, numerous rivers, seas, hills, and even grass girls also sent me aromatic air, wet and soaked in the greenery. My breaths used to fly onto the hills and streams like restless birds, colorful grasshoppers, and wicked insects. Mom fondly called me a naughty son of hers. Did Mom ever anticipate that someday her son's Bauchak, will be plundered by white bears, choked, and that black gold will never be able to gather here for his bread. I'd like to explain a word with few words. This is Bauchak. It is a created word by me, similar to Mauchak, means beehive. The beehive is full of honey, like this, the Bauchak. Bau means air in Bangla, so that I mean the word Bauchak, the lung hive full of air. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janna ji. Now I request to Dr. Molly Joseph ji to kindly recite her poem.
Greetings, Oswald and Sahitya Academy. I hope I am audible enough. Am I?
Yes, yes, you are audible. Please.
Pranams, Ajit Kaur, ma'am. The brain, the think tank behind this great conference. Yes, this time also we have hit upon a very relevant topic, environmental literature. Friends, I am a poet from Kerala, the southern tip of India. People call it God's own land. I'm into writing so much after retiring as a professor in the university. 15 books I have published, and always championing the cause of the contemporary that glares at us at the razor's edge. Just now, coincidentally, we were worried about the COVID-19 scenario. Man hasn't learned the lesson. Man is still crazy with domination. War happens one side. Here in my place, I am telling you, in Kerala, in the name of progress, what all havoc they are doing to our beautiful environment, our fragile ecology is shuddering like the naked branch in the winter wind, I would say. That is it. So here is a poem of mine, actually addressing that issue, conscientizing the so-called powers that be. What is progress? Man is constantly upending his ambition, that's it. And he calls it beautifully progress, development. Here goes my poem. Progress. Witnessing merciless cutting down of trees that boulevarded the lane, trees falling down with a death cry, the very trees that decked the road with fine yellow red flowers, bringing riots of spring for long, long years. What shade, what water conserve they did offer, soothing the sweltering heat. Now the chopped up trunks lie scattered, helpless victims of a war onslaught. Unmindful they move, people. I caught again. Unmindful they move, people. The slaughter minds of senseless progress. They say road expansion requires clearing up. What progress? More traffic, more smoke pollution, resource depletion, more rash treading down of the soft tenor of life. The earth burns, its precious underwater drying up. The roots that held earth together cut off. The rich sit in air-conditioned rooms to ward off the heat, emitting more carbon into the air. The average suffers. When will we learn to plant progress in sustainable grounds? Not like this, short-visioned, selfish. Digging our own graves, we erect deck sandcastles above. My little one asks, why this merciless cutting down? His dad answers, for us, for progress. What progress? What we offer them to store, these young, a future that appears so vague, a future progress with a land so barren. Oh no, this new gen, they plan to leave this land to build a future on foreign lands, seldom knowing how those covetable lands are on tracks of sustainable progress, guarding, preserving nature, while their native land turns a tourist spot for random visits, not habitable enough. Progress. Yes, as somebody put it in the other discussions, we do rantings and hope our rantings are not simply laying down those valleys of their own making. Let us raise our voice against the din of insanity that is rampant in the world. And I think my time is getting over. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Modi. Thank you. Now I request my favorite poet, Dr. Lutfa Hanum Salima Begum ji, to kindly recite her poem. Dr. Lutfa ji? Yeah,
yes,
please.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. I feel honored to be a part of this prestigious conference on environment and literature. I'm an Assamese poet. I write poetry in my own language. Now I'm going to read out my poem in English translation. My first poem. As I sit down to write a poem, as I sit down to write a poem, a bird comes flying, extending its countless wings. She breaks the siesta of dream, flapping her wings. The dream rises up from an unfinished sleep. The pearls of word drop down from the dreams. I pick up the pearls first, in the fear of losing them, and stitch them up in a garland. The words embrace each other. The dictionary of poems feels honored. The bird sees everything. Had I been a bird with countless wings to watch the pearls of words drop down. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you, Lutfa ji.
My next poem is very
Yeah,
short
please.
poem. The fallen leaves. The fallen leaves want a green passage back to the branches of trees. The fallen leaves want a green passage back to the branches of trees. The birds want to be yellow inside eggs. The river wants that the dead fish return. The shadow wants to be trees, to be human hearts. The smoke wants a red path back to the heart of the fire. The water would be stones. The stones want to dissolve in human hearts. And me, melting in you, seek a passage back to me, through the green, through water, stones, words, and tunes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lutfa Hanum Salima Begum ji. Now I request to KG Subaji from Nepal to kindly recite his poem. Please unmute yourself, please. Subaji. Yes, please.
Yes. Hi, namaste. Namaste, everyone, and good afternoon. Dear Chairman, at first I would like to give a big thanks for this cordial invitation for this online literacy conference. I am very thankful and feeling glory for luminous participation in this conference. Now I am missing that dates, SAC Literature Festival 2017 on February 24, 25 and 26 in New Delhi, India. Missing to Padma Shri Ajit Kaur and all her social family and Sahitya Academy India. And my very warmly greeting to my fellow participants and all seeing this online conference. And now I'm going to produce my poem. This poem is translated by myself from Nepali. The name of my poem is A Prescription of an Aesthetic Patient. A prescription of an aesthetic patient. Every moment, thousands of elusive eyes peeping your highly growing appearance and holding hardly by watching that wondrous attraction. But you may not know about that. The mystery of that huge curiosity has to be asked the gentle air blowing through the fragrant evening with the youthful joy. If do you like dusk evening of horizon, then stand there and see the picture that differentiated by your hyper and deeper image, which already sketched by shadows, then let us to those shadows too. Even you smiled very hardly at once in a life, then it's too to be asked that silver bright of a smile and those valuable clothes spending on you are saved. Put them carefully. The sky is not so flat. The sky is not so flat for this flexibility. The kingdoms are not so wider for this popularity. But you may not know about that, and how I know that about it may not be so sufficient. Even I announce your name with an undying, marvelous poem of a great poet. I have only one promise for that, which is, if I succeed to save you from this corrupt and cruel century, then I would address your name in new creation of an aesthetic science. Thank you.
थैंक यू केजी सुब्बा जी। नाउ अब मैं हिंदी के प्रख्यात प्रखर कवि मिथिलेश श्रीवास्तव जी को आमंत्रित करता हूं। आदरणीय मिथिलेश श्रीवास्तव जी।
नमस्कार। सभी मित्रों को मैं नमस्कार करता हूं। कुमार अनुपम मेरे अजीज दोस्तों में हैं, उनको भी नमस्कार करता हूं। अजीत कौर जी माँ जैसी हैं, उन्होंने हमेशा माँ जैसा प्यार दिया है, मैं उनका सम्मान करता हूं। I have been on a long journey, travel, and therefore I could not make English translation of my poem. So I will read out two poems if time permits. My first poem is एक किसान का बयान. You might have heard there was a massive movement by Indian farmers stationing around the state of Delhi. So we have taken some images from there in my poetry. So first poem is एक किसान का बयान। आप शहरी एक दिन सुबह सुबह अपना गांव छोड़कर चले आए थे, जैसे कि यह शहर आपकी प्रगतिशीलता का प्रतीक बनेगा। आधुनिक जीवन की सुख सुविधा ही आपका जीवन होगा। निर्बाध बिजली तो मिली, लेकिन आसमान का नीलापन आपके जीवन से चला गया। सूर्योदय की लाली चली गई, सूर्यास्त गहरा गया, सितारों को देखना आपने बंद कर दिया, क्योंकि शहर में छत नहीं मिली जहां से आप अपने सपनों को उड़ते देख सकते। आप बिल्कुल भूल गए कि पौधे अपनी जड़ें मिट्टी में कैसे फैलाते हैं। आप भूल गए कि मिट्टी से दूर और अलग रहने का दर्द कैसा होता है। आप भूल गए कि कानून बनाने वाला यह शहर हमारा रक्तचाप बढ़ाता है, हमारी नींद उड़ा देता है। हमारी आवाज शहर की सीमाओं पर रोकने की कोशिश होती है। हमारे नारों को देशद्रोह कहा जाता है। हमारे रास्तों में कटीले और नुकीले कीले बिछा दी जाती हैं। हमारे पांव जख्मी होते हैं। उन जख्मों का आप सब ने मिलकर मजाक बनाया। मजाक सुनकर हमारे हौसले पस्त नहीं हुए। हम नारे लगाते रहे, विरोध करते रहे, फसल उगाने चले जाते, फिर लौट आते। इस तरह हमारे नारे, हमारा विरोध, हमारी आवाज सीमाओं से ध्वनित होते रहे निरंतर। जीत और हार के खांचे में गए बगैर हम नारे लगाते रहे, ताकि आप नारों पर भरोसा कर सकें, ताकि आंदोलन की संस्कृति जीवित रहे, ताकि अन्याय के खिलाफ लड़ने से आप हिचकिचाएं नहीं, ताकि आपके भीतर कोई अफसोस नहीं रह जाए कि आप हमारे पास नहीं आए। हमने आपके बदले भी नारे लगाए, आपके बदले भी कांटों पर चले, लेकिन आपके बदले हमने आपका अन्न नहीं खाया। उतना ही खाया जितना कि जरूरी था नारे लगाने के लिए। फसल उगाते समय हम नहीं सोचते कि कौन कितना और कहां खाएगा। आप हमें अन्नदाता कहते हैं, इसी से हम खुश हो जाते हैं। इसमें उत्तम पदम पुरस्कार कोई दूसरा नहीं हो सकता। इससे उत्तम पदम पुरस्कार कोई दूसरा नहीं हो सकता। बस अपने कान, आंख और मुंह खुले रखिएगा। कानून बनाने वाला यह शहर आपसे आपकी खैरियत कभी नहीं पूछेगा। कानून बनाने वाले हाथों में आपके गर्म हाथ कभी नहीं होंगे। वे कभी नहीं पूछेंगे आपकी खैरियत। वे आपसे आपके नारे छीन लेंगे। वे आपसे आपके नारे छीन लेंगे, आपको गूंगा बना देंगे। हम सीमा पर हैं, नुकीले कीलों के पीछे। आप आएंगे भी तो पार करना होगा कीलों के ऊपर से। आपके तलवे से खून टपकेगा। आपका खून बेकार नहीं जाएगा। अनुपम, एक कविता और सुनाने का टाइम है?
जी सुना दीजिए। पढ़ दीजिए।
कुछ कह रहे हैं आप?
नहीं, आपसे कह रहा हूं पढ़ सकते हैं आप, समय है।
ओके। एक कविता है, भाषा के भीतर बाहर। वह जानता है कि उसकी अपनी एक भाषा है, पूरी जिंदगी उसी भाषा के भीतर उसे रहना है। सोते जागते लड़ते भिड़ते परिवार पालते, अपनी भाषा के भीतर बाहर की आवाजाही उसे उदास नहीं करती है। उसकी आत्मा उसे तब कचोटती है जब एक ही तरह के शब्दों से संवाद होने लगता है। उसे याद आने लगता है कई साल से जिंदगी बमुश्किल 10 वाक्यों में सिमटती रही है। शुक्रिया, नमस्ते, कल से समय से दफ्तर पहुंचूंगा, कल छुट्टी कर सकता हूं, इरादतन कभी कुछ नहीं किया, कंप्यूटर आता नहीं है, सीख लूंगा, दूध सब्जी स्कूल का फी, पढ़ने में बच्चा ठीक है लेकिन टीचर कहती है उसका मन खेलने में अधिक लगता है। चादर उड़ा दो, लाइट बुझा दो, एक ही तरह के वाक्य बोलते वह थकता तो नहीं है, बार बार बोलते हुए उसे बस इतना लगता है कि भाषा बहुत छोटी हो गई है। इतनी छोटी भाषा से बाकी जिंदगी गुजरेगी नहीं। उसकी मुश्किल है कि उसे कोई और भाषा नहीं आती। आग लगा दो, घर जला दो, फूंक दो घर, मार दो चाकू, बाह मरोड़ दो, गर्दन की नसें दबा दो, वह अपनी भाषा में ऐसे वाक्य नहीं चाहता है, बोलता भी नहीं है, लेकिन चलते फिरते सफर करते, हाट बाजार मेले ठेले, इसी तरह के वाक्यों की गूंज रहती है। वह उनकी भाषा सीखना चाहता है जो बोल नहीं सकते। इसका मतलब यह नहीं है कि जो बोल नहीं सकते उनके मुंह में जुबान नहीं है। जो बोल नहीं सकते उनकी भाषा उनकी उंगलियों के संकेत में होती है, चेहरे के हाव भाव और झपकती पलकों में होती है। वे अपने गुस्से को संकेतों में प्रकट करते हैं और नारे लगाते समय उनकी नसें तनी रहती हैं। उसे यह भाषा मानवीय लगती है। वह अपने गुस्से को प्रकट करना चाहता है, बिना चीखे चिल्लाए आतंक फैलाए। उन संकेतों को वह सीखना चाहता है। जो देख नहीं सकते उनकी भाषा बहुत सहज होती है। कदमों की आहट से आपदाओं और खतरों को भांप लेते हैं। आंख वाले यदि आंखें बंद करके देख नहीं पाने का स्वांग करते हैं तो किसी पत्थर से टकरा जाते हैं, किसी गहरी खाई में गिर जाते हैं। एक बार ब्रेल भाषा की बिंदियों पर उसने उंगलियां घुमाई थी। वह कोई अनजानी सी रहस्यमयी सी नहीं, अपनी सी भली सी लिपि लगी थी, जैसे उंगलियों की मांसपेशियों को किसी ने सहला दिया हो। जैसे कि उंगलियों की मांसपेशियों को किसी ने सहला दी, वह ऐसी लिपि सीखना चाहता है। उसे अपने भाई की याद आई और उसे समझ में आया कि पागलों की भी एक भाषा होती है। उनकी भाषा में एक खास किस्म की व्यग्रता, मासूमियत और विनम्रता होती है, सब एक साथ। वे अक्सर मौन रहते हैं। उनके बोलने में आग की मासूमियत होती है और विवशता भी। अपनी भाषा के भीतर वह एक फूल को फिर से खिलते हुए देखना चाहता है। खिलने की आवाजें सुनना चाहता है, खिलते हुए फूल के किस्से सुनना चाहता है, खिलते हुए फूल किस किस की ओर झुका, किस किस के आगे तना रहा, जब भीगा ओस के गिरने से तो उसे किसकी याद आई, पंखुड़ियां बिखरने लगी तब उसकी भाषा कहाँ थी। अपनी भाषा के भीतर मनुष्यता को अपमान से बचाना चाहता है, अपनी भाषा में उजड़े हुए लोगों को बसते हुए देखना चाहता है, अपनी भाषा में प्रेम और मित्रता के सपने देखना चाहता है, अपनी भाषा में विनम्रता की आंच देखना चाहता है, अपनी भाषा में आदमी के लिए आदमी बनना चाहता है, अपनी भाषा में ऐसे शब्द खोज रहा है जो चूहे नहीं कील की तरह। भाषा के बाहर की दुनिया के सारे निष्कपट शब्द अपनी भाषा में लाना चाहता है, जो सिर्फ प्रेम और प्रेम बोलते हों। वह आपकी भाषा की तरफ भी आएगा, वह आपकी भाषा की तरफ भी आएगा और आपसे कुछ सुंदर शब्द मांग के ले जाएगा। अपनी भाषा में वह अभी अभी नींद से जागा है, सपने में बोले गए नए वाक्यों को याद करने की कोशिश करता हुआ।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मिथिलेश जी, बहुत बहुत अच्छी कविताएं आपने सुनाई। मैं अब पंजाबी के महत्वपूर्ण कवि बलबीर माधोपुरी जी को आमंत्रित करता हूं। आदरणीय बलबीर माधोपुरी जी। बलबीर जी अनम्यूट कर ले प्लीज।
Yes. Are you listening?
यस प्लीज।
Okay. I think two small points. Life. Life, I want to live with you as a plant lives with soil, greenery with the leaves, scenery with eyes. Life, I want to have such an emotional relation with you as a fish with the sea, warmth with the sun, flower with scent. Life, I want to pass through the ups and downs as a boat passes through waves, some mountains shepherd through the lows and highs of the hills. Life, I wish daily to become a cloud over the deserts, on spread my wings over the little ones of the words, shivering with cold. Life, I want to become so vast as a form of seven seas, a son of the rainbow, a tree flush with the green leaves. Life, I want to live with you as a plant lives with soil, greenery with leaves, scenery with eyes. And another poem translated by Professor T.C. Ghai. He said, for long I have followed in your footsteps. Now you follow in mine. They said, we have the head and you have the feet. The duty of the feet is to walk. He said, for long I have endured yes man. Now listen to me. They said, we have the tongue and you have the ears. Their duty is to listen. He said, I was made homeless by you. Now give me back my home. They said, Adivasi's home is in the jungle. We shall spread the jungle winds, air. We shall spread the jungle air. It is a sin to go against the wind. He said, I am a blinkered ox. Allow my weary limbs so rest. He said, I am a blinkered ox. Allow my weary limbs to rest. Unblinker my eyes. They said, your duty is not to see, but to shut your eyes after seeing. He said, I shall move against the wind. He said, I shall move against the wind. They said, it is now possible to stop the wind. It is, he said, for long I have followed in your footsteps, now you follow in mine. They said, we have the head and you have the feet. The duty of the feet is to walk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Balveer Madhavpuri ji. Now I request to respected chair, Janab Kaisar Haq Sahab, the eminent poet. I request to sir kindly recite your poems and a few words about these presented poems, please.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be a part of this session, and I would like to congratulate Ajit ji for keeping up this tradition of having SARC literary conferences at regular intervals. You have played a key role in maintaining links and helping writers of different countries in the region maintain a vital link with each other. I have really enjoyed listening to the poems by my esteemed colleagues from my own country, from Nepal and from India. The poems, evince genuine feeling for life and for this world, which I think is the theme of this session. We are concerned with the environment. We are concerned about climate change. We are concerned about environmental degradation. And as writers, it is our duty to address these issues. We cannot retreat into the ivory tower. We must engage with real life issues. So, I would like to recite one poem first, a couple of poems perhaps. One is about the environment. I didn't realize that it would be an ecological poem when I wrote it, but it's a simple poem about how the river that flows by my ancestral village has suffered degradation over the years. It's titled Figures of Speech. It pleases me greatly that my ancestral village stands on a river, if only because running water lends itself to profound observations. For example, Heraclitus's aphorism about the impossibility of stepping into the same river twice, which I revise in the light of Lord Buddha's wisdom. It isn't quite the same person who steps in the second time. And suddenly, for no rhyme or reason, remembering Rimbaud's mysterious self-definition, Je suis un autre, I am an other. See, clear as the dear cool water, a small boy thrilled to the liquid touch as it laves around skinny shanks and leaves mica glitters on dark skin, while a slippery susu in the distance punctuates the rippling syllables, a kinetic comma, and small fishing boats fill up with a rainbow bright catch. Now cut to the present, peer into the constricted river's polluted mirror. Watch your haunted eyes tremble. No flash of fin excites the shallows. The waters unfit to drink, unfit to swim in, unfit to touch. Looking over this depressing draft for a poem, only the images seem to have any life. Similes and metaphors as sharp and clear as the river is murky. That's another one. Well, as doom looms, nice sound effect there. Anyway, as doom looms, you might of course interject, that it always does. Still, right now, as our very own doom looms, is that all we have to fall back on? Figures of speech. So it seems that as the earth is being destroyed, we only have the figures of speech, of literature, that can give us some solace. I'd like to read another poem, if I may.
Yes, please.
This was a poem written in response to a Shakespeare sonnet. It was commissioned by the British Council, the South Bank in London, and we went there and read out the poems. My poem is titled, "An English Sonnet is Equal to 140 Syllables." 10 syllables in each line, 14 lines. And the sonnet that I have responded to here is Shakespeare's sonnet 66. So it is thematically related to that, but it comments on the contemporary scene. To be is to see. I can never tire of the passing show. Everything a tad worse each morning. Scum rising visibly. White hot sun blinding eyes with sweat. Blinkingly you read a poet's retraction of satirical verses. Headlines packed with lies. Hear the growl of motorbike. Killer or cop, who knows? While the perennial mask goes on for those who have made a killing. To face the tide is folly. But if you will join me, together we'll take note of things, so long as we can breathe. So what if one can't tell substance from shadow? Feeling around's always been fun. Call it love or what you will. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janab Kaisar Haq Sahab. I express my gratitude to all of you, very eminent poets, for decorating this session with your beautiful poems and meaningful thoughts. Thank you especially to Janab Kaisar Haq Sahab to presiding over this important poetry session. Thank you. And मैं अजीत कौर जी का भी बहुत आदर व्यक्त करता हूँ, उनके प्रति सम्मान व्यक्त करता हूँ, क्योंकि वो स्वयं बहुत ही अच्छी कवयित्री हैं और उन्होंने जितना प्रेम से सबको सुनती हैं, उनके लिए हमारा बहुत बहुत आदर और सम्मान। ये सत्र यहीं समाप्त होता है। आप सबके प्रति धन्यवाद। नमस्कार।
धन्यवाद। नमस्कार।